You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of Nice-ish. I'm Grace, and I'm here with my co-host, my mom, Cindy. How are you?
I am so good today. I'm winning.
Mm-hmm.
We went to get our car inspected today, and I had said to you, in the history of my life, I don't think I've ever walked out and only had to pay for the inspection. I think maybe once.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm preparing. I'm thinking, what do I want to use my debit card or do I want to charge it? Last year, we got 4 new tires put on. That was like $500.
$800.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So I'm just preparing for the worst,
Right.
hoping for the best. $21.
I know. It was great. I thought, okay, well, you want to know what? The back windshield wiper was kind of working funny, so I thought maybe they might get us on that, even though that wouldn't be that expensive. I was just hoping that it was something small, and to come out only paying for the inspection.
I walked out of there with my fist in the
You
air
did. You actually
like
did.
a queen.
Yes.
I was so excited. When she's like, all right, we're all set. I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
nobody came out and said, we need to do this.
Yeah.
Or we need to. Oh, my God. I could have cried.
I know. It was awesome. But you know what's funny about it, too, though, is that since we've never had an inspection go well, it's almost like, did you look at everything? Like, is our car fine? Now I don't know if I trust you because there's always something wrong. So
Oh, no.
I'm just a little concerned.
Yeah, I know. It's that feeling when you go to a mechanic and they fix the problem and then you drive off and you're like, I'm like driving around in a cushion because nothing can touch me. My car is perfect.
Right.
And since nothing was wrong with it, you think maybe he was lazy. You know what? Maybe he just wanted to get the hell out of there. God, now I'm worried. Well, anyway, I'm still on that highest of highs.
Oh, yeah. It's basically like now we have $500 in free money because we didn't have to pay for it with the car. Girl math.
Girl math. We'd be losing that money if we didn't spend it today.
Right. Have to shop.
We actually are going out. We're going to see Wicked again. An 8 o'clock showing, so we'll be gone that night. I wish they served alcohol. Well,
They do.
Do they?
Yeah.
You can get beer at a movie theater?
I don't know about beer, but I know they serve some alcohol, so probably beer. I don't know. Yeah.
It's probably a bad idea. I gotta say, I am not a fan of going to the movie theaters. You kind of had to talk me into it.
I know. Well, don't be that drunk lady at the movie theater singing Defying Gravity, please. God.
I promise I won't. So what's going on this week with the podcast? What are we talking about?
This week, we're going to talk about Salt Lake and Potomac only. We did watch Beverly Hills this week, but with Thanksgiving and Black Friday and all that stuff too, we were out, we were doing stuff, and we just didn't quite have enough time to finish Beverly Hills.
And you know, we just watched Salt Lake City today on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, between all of that and Thanksgiving and family and everything, we just didn't even know if we'd get this one done, but we're like, no, we don't want to skip.
Right. So it's kind of like a little bit of both, a bit of a compromise.
Yeah. So talk amongst yourselves about Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And listen to us for Salt Lake City and Potomac.
So let's jump into the episode of Salt Lake this week.
Okay.
We're going to talk about 2 main points, which is their weird camping trip fiasco and Mary and her son Robert. But before we get into those 2, just to set up the camping trip, we're going to talk quickly about Meredith and Mary and their kind of relationship here and what's going on at the art gallery when they met.
Right.
Meredith was there on time, apparently, and Mary was an hour late.
Yeah, Mary actually blamed it on Meredith living an hour away from her. But I thought, well, then you leave an hour early. But okay. We don't all live next door to each other.
Well, I know. I'm like, yeah, she lives an hour away. Okay. Well, so you know then.
You plan for that.
Right. Yeah. Or pick someplace closer to you then. But so that was funny.
Yeah.
But I really think, though, that this fight is just all one big misunderstanding here between Mary and Meredith.
I would agree.
Because Mary was literally, she's like, no, I'm yelling at both of you. I yelled at Angie, which she did. And she's like, then I yelled at you. But you only heard, like, the last part of what I said. I wasn't literally telling you, like, throwing you out. But she only heard that, ironically, because she wasn't listening.
I know. That was the funny part. You literally didn't hear her say that because you were yelling.
Right. So I feel like maybe if they watch this back, maybe Meredith would be like, oh, she wasn't really throwing me out, that type of way. But
yeah,
I don't know, because Meredith can go either way for me. Sometimes I think, oh, she might understand, or other times I'm like, no, she's not going to.
It's a shame because they were good friends, and I do think Meredith had Mary's back all this time. When Mary, I felt, was very misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I have a very soft spot for Mary, so I can, like, ignore some of her issues.
I think, though, what set Meredith off the most, though, was being an hour late. Maybe she would have been a little bit more understanding had the time not have been.
She came in, I thought she came in very cool.
Yeah.
She said, is something wrong? Is something bothering you? And she gave Mary the opportunity to share.
Yeah.
And Mary did not. And then I think, and again, a Mary apologist here, I think Mary could have shared with Meredith what's going on. And then I think this whole thing would have turned around.
Yeah.
But she didn't. And then she got mad at Meredith for not knowing.
Yeah, that's weird too. It's
that's
like nobody,
fair.
Yeah, nobody can just know, especially something that personal.
Yeah,
that's
we're
going
not
on.
mind readers.
Yeah.
So again, as somebody that's a Mary apologist, I thought it was unfair the way she held Meredith to that standard where Meredith was just supposed to know.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, if I was Mary, just apologize to Meredith. She clearly thought that you were throwing her out of your house. She didn't hear you. Again, we said that was ironic, and she's wrong for that. For
Mary
not listening.
apologizes to no one.
That's true. But I think if Mary had just given her one, it would have been over. It's just
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's gonna get
you're
worse,
right. It
though.
does bleed into the next scene.
Right.
So.
That brings us to the camping trip, or the little like Troop Beverly Hills-esque.
We love
party.
that movie, by the way.
It's awesome. It's a great movie. So this I thought was going to be a decent scene. I thought, you know what? We might have a fight or two here, but this might be good for all the women to get together again because Mary's was so bad. This, I think, could have been worse. And I don't know how you get worse from that dinner, but this camping trip was just like everybody going at it.
I don't know what happened. They were all fighting with each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was stupid. I'm sorry. I know you probably have an order that we're going to talk about this, but Meredith being upset with Angie over her hearing aids? What? At first I thought she was mad with Bronwyn because Bronwyn's like, 2 ears can hear fine. I thought she was like, wait, you're mad that she can hear fine and you have to wear hearing aids? Like, at first I thought it was Bronwyn. Then I'm like, oh no, she's mad at Angie. I'm like, come on. Oh my God. She was not being insulting to people who with hearing aids.
No. As a matter of fact, I think she's saying the opposite. It's that Meredith can hear and you can't, so you need them. So it's just like, that was so funny.
Well, that was one of many stupid arguments, but go ahead.
Well, first it starts with Brittany, who says that she's back with Jared. Oh, God.
The collective groan.
Yeah. And that she met Donny Osmond, that they went to Vegas and saw his show.
Who called her thirsty? Was it Bronwyn?
It might have been Bronwyn.
It was like, got that pic with Donnie.
Yeah. Or Lisa. Was it even Lisa? I don't even remember which one it was because, oh, God.
So he's pulling out the big guns and taking her to go see his uncle in Vegas. And she is the dope
Yes.
that goes.
Exactly.
I can't get enough of her. I'm sorry. She is such a mess. Oh, do you ever see her Instagram?
No.
Grace, I would cringe if she were my friend, my mother, my sister, whatever. She's on an escalator in Vegas and she's singing, I think it was Defying Gravity again. She
On
had
an
her face
escalator?
painted green.
No. What?
And there's just people walking around and she
Like, what are you doing?
She is just a giant cringe.
I can't believe, I'm assuming Jared's the one that filmed it.
It must have been.
Because I can't believe he okayed that.
So, I mean, she's not back with her kids, but she's back with Jared, so
Thank
there's
God.
that.
Hope is restored.
Nature's healing. Nature's healing.
So yeah, after they call her thirsty and all that stuff, then it goes to Angie. And then Angie starts talking about Bronwyn and that this is where it gets confusing already at the beginning. Angie's yelling at Bronwyn. Bronwyn says something about Whitney and Angie that they were talking about Lisa. So then Lisa gets pissed. Then Angie brings up Meredith. And then Mary gets into it with Meredith after. Like, literally, it just goes down the line. And then Mary gets mad at Lisa, and then they fight too.
That was bad.
Yeah, that was particularly... Although toward the end, it got weird because it's like, you stop talking. You stop talking.
No, stop talking. No, you stop. Mary did not pull any punches. She was just whoever got in her way.
Yeah. Oh, and Brittany, she told her to shut up after she said about having manners.
She did. Literally, that was her next sentence. You shut up. Yeah, I have manners. I have etiquette. I'm like, oh my God, I love her so much. Brittany was like, oh my God.
I know. Like, Brittany, stop trying with this chick. Just stop talking to her.
You can't tell me people don't tell her to shut up on a daily basis.
I would bet. No, it's just like, stop trying with Mary. Don't talk when Mary is talking. Just don't even get into it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Take your lumps. Whatever she says, say, yes, Mary.
But what did you think of this camping scene, though, in this talk and this fight with everybody? Did one particularly stand out as being worse than any of the others?
I thought Mary and Lisa's was bad. I didn't think that was as stupid as some because, I mean, I think I would get over although Meredith took it very personal about the hearing. I thought the whole thing was funny.
Well, she took the bath bomb thing personal, too.
Yeah,
so that's
I
right
know.
in line with that.
And Bronwyn looked borderline tears. So I don't know. Stuff was really bothering people. You know who skated by was Whitney. And Heather.
I was just going to say, and Heather did, too, yeah.
Bad weather. They started it, they planned it,
Yes.
and then they got away with it.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I mean, people just left. Like, you know what, I'm done. Packing it in.
Yeah. I mean, were they supposed to actually stay overnight there? Or was it just supposed to be a little, thing? Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. So then the last part that we'll talk about in this episode, which is at the very end, is Mary talking to her son Robert about things that she's noticed and that, you know, he's been kind of off and she's wondering why.
She's worried.
Yeah. And I think she kind of knows something's up, but finally she asks, which I am very surprised that she decided to do this on camera. And I'm not saying it as a judgy way. I'm surprised that she would let us see this.
Something so personal?
Yeah.
I gotta say, it makes me really emotional. And I'm not sure why. I just think, as a mother, when you see a child hurting like that, and then it's your own,
Yeah.
it was just a really hard scene to watch, but he was so sad.
I know.
The thought that he didn't want to be on this planet. He wanted to end things at one point, but he didn't because of Mary.
Yeah.
Really touched me. And then
I was touched by the fact that he was so open All she had to do was ask.
Yeah.
That was it. And he like literally told her everything. He wasn't even actually really trying to hide anything. And so I was impressed with that. Like, wow, right? You know, she asks you and you're laid all out there.
I was super impressed with both of them. And I got to say, Mary was just all love. I think when a parent knows that their child's involved with drugs, it can get judgy and it can get possibly even mean or defensive. None of that happened.
No.
She was so loving and just saying, "You are my gift."
Yeah.
I think that she gave him the opportunity to get help and that she would be supportive, and that's all you can do. But I, as emotional as it makes me, I loved it.
Yes. Yes, I did too. I was surprised that we got to see that much of it. I was surprised that they decided to do it on camera, but maybe you want that.
Right.
Actually, for somebody who has a addiction like that, you want it all on camera and see where, you know. But it was great though. Well,
we covered it maybe 2 or 3 podcasts back where we looked into how he was doing, and she said he was doing well. And I believe her quote was, "He's not legally married, thank God."
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which was hilarious. And she's like, "I know I have to back off." She's still in there, but she said, "I feel like the wife," quote, wife, is toxic, but he needs to figure it out for himself. But she was upbeat. In this week's Real Housewives of Potomac, we're going to highlight a few quick points from the episode, but we're not going to cover a bunch of stuff because this is kind of a mini-sized podcast episode.
Right, yeah. And some of the stuff was a little filler anyway, too. So we just want to get to the actual, like, main parts.
Right. So the episode continues from last week with the women at Wendy's white party birthday celebration, and Mia clarifies her comment about her children having 2 fathers. She wasn't talking about ink. She was actually previously married. Did you know this?
No, I did not know that. Did she say she was previously married, or just that she had a kid with another guy?
No,
she was married.
She said she was previously married.
Oh, okay.
To Ink? When was this?
Was it to Ink?
No, it wasn't, because he's not one of the fathers. So, and she publicly said that Gordon is the father of her 2 children.
Well, you want to know what, though, that's weird about that is that she explained the comment, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. But why would you post? She posted that comment on the video of Ink and Gordon.
I don't know what she's doing.
I don't really know either. It's very confusing. So it's not hard to believe that why Giselle and everybody else are like, we're confused.
It's also not hard to wonder why Ink is confused. Why aren't you shutting this down? So, I don't know. That's so messy.
It is. Yeah, I think it is super messy. Like, just tighten it up here because you're giving people mixed messages all over the place.
And I gotta say, her and Jacqueline's relationship, friendship, whatever, kind of cracks me up. I secretly think they hate each other because Jacqueline was actually defending her and saying, you know, Gordon has issues. Mia's constantly dealing with his mood swings because of his mental illness. So she's defending Mia. And then as they're all walking away, Mia's like, "You can just stay over there, Jacqueline. You never have my back." And I'm like, what?
I mean, oh my God. She has her back more than anybody. So much so that the women all think it's weird.
Yes. I agree.
So I don't know what Mia's not seeing here, too. And then it makes me think, okay, well, maybe that's why Jacqueline tries so hard to defend her, because you seem like you don't care that she does it.
Yeah, or don't appreciate it. So then we see TJ sitting with Stacey at the table, and he is completely ignoring everything she's saying.
What the hell is his problem?
I can't stand this guy.
I don't really understand what the motive is here. I really can't figure it out because there is no way that he is into her. He just isn't. I don't know why, because I think she's so sweet and she's so nice and she's so pretty.
I would agree.
What don't you like about her? You're not into her, and I don't know why.
He is so high maintenance.
Oh my God, yes.
It's really a lot. He's a lot.
And over nothing, too. What are you mad about? Like, you have this woman, like, literally just, like, wanting to grab you and touch you, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
Weird.
I think that kind of says everything right there. So then we see Eddie's family there, too, to celebrate after years of no relationship, not seeing each other. It seems like it stems from the wedding. They didn't want Eddie marrying Wendy, so he went and did it anyway, and none of them attended. And it was really sad to see, but it was nice that they're finally making the decision to come together. His parents weren't there, right?
I did not see them unless they showed them earlier, but I didn't see them.
I didn't think so. I thought it was just his brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
But they seemed overly emotional and happy.
Agreed. I think that too. I thought it was a great scene. And normally I don't care about family stuff not to be, No,
I'm with you. The less I see of the kids, the better.
But I thought that it was nice to see. I mean, they're clearly all hurt by all of this. And I don't really get why Eddie's parents wouldn't like Wendy.
No, I don't know
I'm not really
either.
understanding that.
And I think the kids are just collateral damage. His sisters and his brothers, they probably were like, I don't know, we got to back mom and dad.
Yeah.
Who knows how young they were at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a shame. So then we move on to a scene with Ashley talking about her mediation with Michael for their divorce. And she said they agreed to 1 day. So they had to iron it out 1 day. She said it didn't matter if it took till 1 a.m. They were not going to leave till things were ironed out. And she said it took 9 hours, and they did not reach an agreement because Michael wanted her to sign a confidentiality agreement for life that she could not talk about him, discuss him on the show, not even disparage him, but just
in general.
He was not allowed to be a topic of conversation. And she's like, no, I don't agree to that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to ask somebody to do, especially when you're not married anymore. I mean, she stood by you when you were married, by the way, too. You were disgusting. You made her look like a complete fool.
Yeah.
So you want to know what, buddy? You can let Ashley talk about you for like a little portion of the show.
Well, he's not really the topic of conversation anyway.
No, it's actually just really about like how's the process coming along.
When are you getting divorced?
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with his pervy ass, so.
I know.
And then in another scene, we find out that Keiarna is actually suing Deborah, a.k.a. Cookie Monster, because of that fight we saw at the end of the season at the GNA party. So I looked up a little bit about this because I wanted to know what was going on with the lawsuit since they filmed a couple months ago. And this is what I found out. In an article from Reality T, they said Deborah Williams just issued a $7 million rebuttal to Keiarna Stewart after her Real Housewives of Potomac Season 8 friend of co-star slapped her with a lawsuit post-filming. To recap, right as cameras shut down on Giselle and Ashley Darby's fashion line launch in Season 8, the drinks and the fists started flying. As a result, Keiarna sued Deborah for a whopping $10 million.
I didn't know it was that high.
I had no idea. I didn't even know she was suing her.
Yeah, that's also true, too. I didn't know. But then when I heard the number, I was like, holy shit.
I know. I mean, I know she has a permanent scar. So that's
one that Ashley doesn't see, but,
But, I mean, I guess it's worth something. At $10 million, I don't know. whatever.
Yeah, right.
Get it, girl. I can't stand Deborah. So now Deborah has her own slightly cheaper bone to pick. So she's coming after Keiarna for $7 million.
God.
TV Deets, which is an account I follow on Blue Sky, has done the Lord's work finding the court documents that hold Deborah's counterclaims to Keiarna's lawsuit. To start, Deborah's filing explains that during the night of Ashley and Giselle's launch, allegedly, Candace Dilliard, remember Candace? Candace began taunting her. Quote, throughout this event, Miss Bassett's verbal attacks were exceptionally vicious towards Miss Williams. The name-calling and instigation was abnormally excessive, seemingly intentionally provocative. In Deborah's take, after she exchanged some words with Candace, Candace picked up a bottle of champagne as if to throw it at her.
Oh my God.
So she didn't.
Right. Yeah. So she didn't. So she didn't touch you.
So it didn't happen. So we're putting what ifs in this court complaint.
As if she was going to do it.
Right.
Oh, God.
I guess you can sue for things that are in your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Keiarna began aggressively defending Candace, which led to her punching Deborah square in the face. So she's saying she got hit first.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Keiarna's like, no, I was just defending Candace, talking to her, and then she threw a glass, and that's when she swung at her.
Which makes more sense.
It does make more sense, but, we weren't there, unfortunately.
Oh, I know, I wish we were.
According to her counterclaim, Deborah has never even met Keiarna before this event. Therefore, she's at a loss as to why Keiarna even inserted herself into this mess. Wildly, Deborah's attorneys are also accusing this altercation of being staged. This is because Bravo's cameras were down, yet someone at the party still recorded and leaked this fight out to TMZ. As for who did this, she isn't sure yet. Then it finishes saying, overall, Deborah's looking to collect $3 million plus punitive damages plus interest and court costs. So she's hoping it all brings a total to around $7 million.
Well, I mean, you want to know what, though? It's like you're saying it was staged. Well, I know it was staged by one of you, and I think it was you who came in looking for a fight.
Oh, she even went after Mia. Mia said that.
Yeah.
So she was going after everyone at that party, looking for a moment, and she got one.
Right.
Right upside the head. So anyway, that's where we are with the lawsuit. They're both suing each other. Nothing's happened. That came out, that article, I think, in July.
Oh, okay.
So we're just waiting. Next road trip, the courthouse.
Oh,
Then we find out Stacey also had mediation with her husband to settle their divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And she got a lot of advice from the women before this happened. And she seemed a bit put off by it.
Yeah.
However, after her mediation, she was thankful for it.
Mm-hmm. I thought Stacey saying that she wasn't really interested in what the women had to say at first, and then after she went was like, wow, okay, this isn't really what I thought it was going to be, was big of her to admit.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't have to. She didn't have to be like, you guys were right.
Right, and that never happens.
Yeah, never. So I'm glad that the women did end up talking to her about it, because I think it did help her, and to know that there were accounts that she had never heard about.
Right.
Shady.
See, this is the thing. If you don't ask and you don't involve yourself in anything, men are going to do what they want to do. Even Wendy was like, you know what? I've never even paid my mortgage, and Eddie and I are great. Mm-hmm. However, I need to pay attention.
Yeah, I liked that too.
And I thought that was a lesson for every woman.
Yeah.
Pay attention to where your finances are.
Yeah.
What's going on? Where's the money going? If he's paying the bills, where is it being paid to? Mm-hmm. You need to know those things. So we didn't get a sneak peek. They showed that end of season trailer.
Yeah.
Still looks good.
Yeah.
Everything looks good. It was a good episode, but nothing earth shattering.
No, I thought it was good too. And then we end with, Mia and Giselle, going at it there too, which was
Can
weird.
I just say, I like these women. I like this group. I like everybody. I like all the additions.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with the direction it's going.
Yeah, I am too. I like that they got rid of Robin, thank God, because I will tell you that I think about it more often than you would think I do, that, wow, I'm really glad Robin's not here right now, because I think that Giselle has been able to talk to all the other women now and not have Robin there as her sidekick, kind of. That fell to Jacqueline now.
Yeah, I know, right? I would agree with you. I think Robin held Giselle back.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to episode 29 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky at Nice-ish Podcast or Love Cindy C. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes on Married to Medicine every Wednesday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.